Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know if there is something we can help with in the comments below. Usually, we can get those audios made within a couple of days when the request is made. In any event, today we're going to talk about basically things that make a person worth keeping in your life. I've done a lot of work with time when it's time to let go of people, but these, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9 traits are things that make people worth keeping in your life. And the first is supportiveness. They support your growth and your development emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and at every facet. And they don't try to change who you are. They may give advice and encouragement, and they may even disagree with you from time to time, but their support is based on being invested in you as a person. And that investment, which is the second thing on the list, is based on the history and track record of the friendship or relationship, romantic or platonic, that you have with them. They show their investment by continuing to keep conversation and communication open. Um, you know, and that's another important factor. Matter of fact, many of these factors kind of overlap each other, but they communicate well. When they disagree with something, they let you know, but they let you know in a respectful manner and ultimately put the value of the decision made or any decision you may need to make in your own hands. They don't tell you what to do. They may advise you, but they realize that you have yourself autonomy. They will give warnings and perhaps even admonishments that you're going down a wrong path, but they still support your self autonomy. That's because they aim to understand. And so, a person that's worth keeping in your life is going to ask consistent, thought provoking questions. The conversations you have with them will be, in some ways, kind of random in that it won't always be serious. But when it matters and when they need further understanding of who you are as a person, what your goals are, your dreams, your aspirations, your fears, your doubts, your triumphs, your desires, where your heart is, and where your dreams are, they will ask for clarification in a respectful way. And in doing this, they're strengthening the bond with you, and you do the same for them. Now, keep in mind that everything listed here is reciprocal. So, if it's one sided and you're not giving back to them, they're eventually going to drop you as a friend. It's just part of what is there. And speaking of what is there, I've got to grab my phone. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. The next thing there is kind of looking a little deeper at the concepts of how to kind of move forward with, I guess I'd say, a deeper mentality of just valuing people in a more kind way, which is random acts of kindness, not only for you but for humanity as a whole. So, when a person's worth keeping in your life, they'll be kind just because it's the progressive thing to do. And I won't say right or wrong because right or wrong are human concepts that often get muddy. Right according to whose standards? What is right in one country or one community or one neighborhood could be completely wrong in another. What's right for one social party, political party, religion could be wrong to another. But progressive versus destructive is relatable to all people. And so random acts of kindness, again, relatable to all people, is useful as well. The next is they will respect your boundaries and you will respect theirs. Now, that doesn't mean they don't push them and ask questions that cause you to from time to time, reevaluate, hey, am I going in the right direction? Am I going in a way that is leading this friendship forward, or myself forward, or this other person in a forward facing direction? But at the same time, they respect, hey, this is a hard stop. I'm unwilling to go further with this situation. I'm unwilling to do anything else. And that can become challenging from time to time. The ability to compromise is the next thing on the list because compromise often is making sure that both people's needs are met in a way that makes sense without the original intention of a decision or a focal point being lost along the way. This can be really difficult for people to do if they don't communicate well. So that's why communication is above compromise on the list, because without proper communication, proper compromise becomes significantly harder. The next is, and next to last is, they accept your flaws and you accept theirs. So this doesn't necessarily mean that they don't push you to become a better person. Much to the contrary, they may point out things in which you can improve or ways in which you can make life easier or better for yourself. But at the end of the day, they're going to look at you and say, you know what? Even if this never changes about you, I accept you where you are and accept you where you're going and want to be a part of your life, even with your flaws in mind. And this is super important, especially for people who may not exactly have the clearest definition of their own self identity. The final thing is the things you value, including the types of relationships, types of communication, and all of that that you value, are in fact valuable, meaning they're congruent with each other, or at least close to it. They may not be identical, but you have core beliefs and values around the same things, or at least ways that you can communicate and find common ground. When you have these nine or most of these nine things in any relationship, romantic or platonic, it's certainly time to consider putting more time and energy into those relationships, because they are the ones that will often be the richest and most fulfilling. So until next time, I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.